in it, and didn't bother me at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But water would splash up, but it got to the point where it began to literally separate. I mean,
Support was gone.
yeah, you could give it the gas, and the front end would
That's dangerous.
the extreme way. And
Well-
so here's what I did. I brought it here and pulled everything out of it and set, because I realized that thing could fall apart on me. I mean, I could be going down the road and,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And so-
Bud, how did you see your first Saab?
I went, short version of it, I went to a trade high school where we went to school one week and shopped the next week.
Mm-hmm.
And then in senior class, if our grades were good after January, we were allowed to go to a job if we had one, instead of going to shop, and then come back for class.
Nice.
And if you didn't have a job, they tried to find you one. Well, they found me one at a dealer that sold Studebakers, Volvos, and Saabs.
Wow.
And a bunch of other cars.
Was this in New England?
Yeah, Springfield,
Wow.
Massachusetts.
I'm gonna put this over here, Beth, so you can put your wine on
Oh,
it.
that's okay.
Yeah.
And so when I went there, you know, I had seen Saabs on the road, and I thought they were funky, really funky.
They are funky.
And well, this was in '61, so they were brand new over here.
Yeah.
And the boss man knew I didn't care for him too much, because I was working on the Volvos and the Studebakers, you know. He plopped my butt down in a passenger seat of a customer's car with a Saxomatic.
No kidding.
59, 93.
Saxomatic, Reba, is Saab invented this contraption that the car became an automatic, more or less.
You're kidding.
It had two pedals, the
Yeah.
wide brake pedal like an automatic, but you had to shift it.
Uh-huh.
That's all.
How
And so
fun.
you just put it in first gear, and then you stepped on the gas, and then you let off the gas, and you shifted in the second.
Uh-huh.
And the
Called the
clutch was
Saxomatic
automatic.
clutch.
It was an automatic clutch,
I love it.
and they made it for.
Were those pretty complicated in terms of the way they were designed?
Not really.
Okay.
Not by today's standards. Probably were then.
Yeah.
It was just all pneumatic, or no, it was all vacuum operated electrically and centrifugally.
Okay.
And when you touched the shifter, the shifter was chrome,
Was it really?
and it flopped around in the holder. And what it did was it grounded the circuit, so you hear click, 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 no matter which way you moved it.
Oh, yeah.
And that would activate a solenoid under the hood, which would electrically disengage the clutch.
How fascinating.
So you put it in first gear, and then you let go of it, and then it would electrically let go of the disengagement, but the centrifugal weights were still in, because the engine was idling. And as you stepped on the gas, and when it got to 1800 RPMs, these weights would pull out this way, and pressure plate would go in and squeeze the clutch, and you'd take off like a normal car.
I'll be darned.
Then
How
when you
fascinating.
hit the shifter again, that electrical solenoid would take the vacuum, and the vacuum would force against the weight of the centrifugal and disengage the clutch, so you'd shift it, and then, you know, it's just automatic.
Yeah.
Anyway, he took me around this test block that we had, and could really run the cars up, and he put it through a turn that I never knew a car could do.
Yeah.
I mean, the car just went, and it's a customer's car. And he just went sideways with it, you know. I was impressed. And I was 18 years old, but I was in this, you know,
Yeah, man.
18-year-olds don't get impressed that easily. I don't care where you're from.
Yeah.
And I said, whoa, this is cool. And I started working on them since then, and you know, that's the day I fell in love with them,
Really?
basically. It's,
So you kind of became the main mechanic, or a mechanic there working on the Saab, moving from the Volvo, working just on the Saab.
I never really lusted after Volvo,
Yeah.
but yeah, I made the Saab guy for 4 years.
Yeah. Now you remember when the 750s came in, or a,
Well, they're phasing out the 750s because the 850s were in.
okay.
They're still bringing in 750 GTs because they didn't stop those until early 62.
Did you have the opportunity to drive one of those, a customer's?
Oh yeah, yeah, changed a lot of engines and did a lot of work on them, a lot of frequent work on those, you know, they're radical cars anyway.